Greetings, everybody. Today I'm here to talk to my friends. Can I call you my friends? I'm here to talk to you, especially my female friends, my black sisters. This one is for you. I did a few videos some time back. One where I'm appealing to the brothers to find it within themselves to show us a little bit more love and a little bit more respect. And I did one where I was appealing to the brothers to stop killing themselves. And from time to time, I do videos about black women. Today, I'm here representing the sisters, but I'm also here in defense of the brothers. Now, I have already stated that I have a better relationship with men than I do women. I have a particular love for the male child, and it has to do with the fact that I don't have a son. Maybe that's what it is. And I have a particular relationship with the male because of some things that I noticed with the females. Now, if you are 50 and older, as a woman, I see you as a wise person that ought to teach me things. I prefer older women. So at the age of 14, my friend would be 24. At the age of 15, I'd have a 30-year-old woman asking me questions about relationship when I knew nothing about relationship. So I've always had great relationship with older women, and I have had wonderful relationship with the males. Young boys understanding me and I understand them, and the guys my age are younger even, and we get along very well. And I always wanted to figure out why that was, and recently I think I get it. After having an interaction with a female recently who happens to be the interpretation of that dream that was bothering me, because I had this dream about fire and relinquishing that fire, and it became very clear with my encounter with this lady. But anyway, this woman also caused me to understand why I prefer men. Now, on this YouTube journey, I have met a lot of people, from time to time, passing through, saying hi or saying bye, whatever. I met a lot of individuals, and this lens that I look through is allowing me to see how we are as women, particularly as black women. And I've always been very hard on the brothers, always saying, what is wrong with these black men? As soon as they have two nickels to rub together, they're running off with some other woman from some other race. But I also get it. I'm beginning to understand why that's the case. Now, in terms of my wonderful relationship with men, one of the reasons why I love men and love the company of men is because I am not a typical female that knows how to and tell people what they want to hear. I'm not like that. I'd rather be silent than to lie about my feelings or lie about what I think or what I'm feeling. Anyone that knows me tell you that one of the characteristics they like about me is my honesty. Blatantly honest. But I won't impose my ideas on you if you don't invite it. But if you invite it, be careful, because you're going to get the truth. That's why I like men, because I can be very honest with men. When I work in environments in a male-dominated environment, the men and I get along very well. It could be a long period, but if I work in an environment with females, I usually say to myself, because I don't like the drama, I don't like the gossiping, and the women tend not to like me because when I'm not encouraged or encouraging that behavior, they tend to feel like it's an attack on them. So, women are not my best friends. I know a few females that we get along well and we have a long-standing relationship, but other than that, individuals, they don't really like me that much, and I'm okay with you. But the men, and my subscribers, him and I got off to a very ugly start. he was talking about his relationship with black women and how he doesn't date black women anymore. And I had no problem with who you want to love or who you want to date, but it's the things that he was saying that really kind of got to me. And I'm like, okay, I understand you might have been hurt, I understand your position, but you know, your mother is a black woman. How you say these things? Because I don't have a problem when you are talking about somebody's behavior or their attitude or something about them that can change. But when you start talking about, you know, their features, their skin color, you know, their natural hair, and that it doesn't grow and things like that, I find it very offensive. But the things that characterize somebody as a black person, you shouldn't attack that, because there's nothing they can do about it. Even sometimes when people are fat, people can do things and lose weight, but sometimes it depends on how you're going after that fat person. I might take offense to it. So I took offense to this gentleman, and we were going back and forth. And you know what? After a while, I lost it. You know, I didn't like what he was saying. And I remember saying to him, you know, I'm beginning to think that you're either an abortion gone wrong or you're a product of rape. Otherwise, you couldn't be this terrible. I went there. Yes, I did go there. And I told this gentleman that he was a product of rape or he was an abortion that went wrong. And you know, that guy is subscribing to my channel. This is why I love men, because I can just get down and dirty with them and just tell him what I'm feeling. I can be like that with my man. You know, if he upsets me, because no relationship is perfect, if he says something, I can just be myself, man. I know that at the end of the day, it's not going to change anything. That's why I like him. And I think he likes me too. My relationship with men is firm, because they dish it out and they can take it. Now women, some women can dish it out real good, but they can't take it. Some women want you to always feed their ego. Some women want you to tell them what they want to hear, so they put it out there like they're asking a genuine question. And when you give them the truth, as some Caribbean people say, they catch feelings. So I'm not really the kind of girl who can be around somebody who's sensitive. When my children were growing up, I danced around them, like walk around an eggshell, because I have to preserve their self-esteem. And so I hold back things that I want to say. And you know, until now my daughters are 25 and 20 years old, and now I just don't. I used to do it even as an adult, but nowadays I don't have time for that. You know, you bring stuff to me, I'm gonna give it to you. Take it. If you know you can't handle the kitchen, do not turn on the stove. So the black women that I've had to encounter catch feelings very easily, but they measure it out real deep. You understand? Then another thing that I don't like about some black women, we talk about men and how they're horrible and how they use us and hurt us. And yes, sometimes in some cases that is true. But some of us black women, we don't turn good. Our elders, the older women back in the day, they knew how to treat men. Men did some really awful things to some of these older women. They would be in the same community and they would get a woman down the road pregnant. And the woman stayed there, she hold her firm, and she's hurt, but she conduct herself with dignity. I don't know if I could be like that. You know, I told you already, if my husband, I came home and caught my husband cheating, you know, trust me, man, some broomstick or something would be pop off, you know. So I respect people who you know, have the ability to give and to take. Men can give it hard, but they can take it too. They don't catch feelings like some females. Some of you women talk about the black men, how they treat us bad and how they're always going somewhere else to find other women. Well, you know why? The reason why they do this is because some of you women are too cantankerous, and you're not just rude. You see, if you were just rude, it wouldn't be so bad. Because guess what? My advice to you women, black women, is that when you're going to be obnoxious and be rude, make sure the man loves you. Because nobody's going to put up with you if they don't really love you. The man has to really love you for you to be able to show him such a dirty part of yourself and think he's going to stick around. And some men, they didn't love you in the first place. It was just about sex, and so they're not going to put up with you. But a lot of black men can put up with our attitude because they grow in an environment where black women are very aggressive and black women are strong. They're used to it. That's not why they run away. It's the other things. Like, for example, a guy, is a struggling person. He has ambition, he has goals, but you don't want him because you say he's broke pocket. You don't want the broke pocket man because your mother taught you that you should go with a man who has a lot. That's her thing, that's your thing, if you want to be with a man who have money. But the trouble is, sometimes you don't want the guy, you reject him when he didn't have anything to give you. And the moment he rolls up in a rental from Kingston or come from foreign, if you're in Jamaica, all of a sudden the same broke pocket man start looking good, and you don't remember that you rejected him, and you don't know that people have a long memory. And so he comes for a visit to Jamaica, and before you know it, you spread out and stretch out, and you're ready to offer him your goodies. A friend of mine gave me a story about a young lady who this man liked in Jamaica, and the guy was pursuing her, and her mom said, you can't go out with those dirty foot boy, what are you doing with him? And so the girl rejected him because of what her mom said. And then he went away to the States, and he came back for a visit. And when he came back for the visit, the girl ran home and she said, mama, guess who me see? No, Brocky. And the mom said, yeah, Brocky, come from foreign. And she said, yes. And the mother said, listen, if him put any crutches talk to you, say yes. And so that's kind of the attitude of women who say, I don't want a broke pocket man. But when they get money, when they put broke crutches talk to you, you're ready to spread out. A lot of you black women are so materialistic and so fake. You not just your weave, your false eyelashes, your fake everything. And all this fakeness, you lose your personality and the true essence of who you are as a person. And when you are fake and you meet somebody who's very real, like myself, you can't handle it. You can't handle me. I want to be real. I want people to know that I don't always get up looking beautiful. And I mean beautiful in the sense that I add makeup on me. Nobody looks like that. People in their house don't dress up all the time. Sometimes they put on old raggedy clothes in their house. Sometimes they don't comb their hair. Sometimes they don't brush their teeth. Sometimes they don't bathe. I mean, let's get real here. It's real life. I'm not interested in living a kind of fake life. I'm trying to win real people here. I'm trying to reach out to real people who have real issues. I'm not interested in selling products online or taking companies' products and pretend like it's something I want to give away when really ever fuck I'm getting endorsed by companies that's asking me to sell their products. I don't allow the capitalists to use me. I am not the typical person you want to subscribe. My videos are going to be like movies, according to one person who tried to insult me because I told her that her stinking weave didn't look good and that she's a prettier person without it. She tried to go there, But I am the captain of the debate team. From I was a little girl, I can champion my own arguments, and people don't like me because of that. At 7 years old, a family friend told me she preferred my older sister because she said I was too fresh. But it's not because I'm too fresh. I've always had a lot of confidence in myself. I've had time when that was broken. Anybody can get their spirit broken. But deep down inside of me, I'm a very strong person. Do you understand? So what I'm saying to the sisters here, we have a lot of bad attitudes. And we have to examine ourselves too and understand why is it that the black men sometimes go look for love elsewhere. It's not because it's just money grabbing women that get them. Sometimes they get other women who are willing to get in the dirt with them and work with them. They don't have nothing. And women, sometimes even as black women, we look and we see a white woman or a Chinese woman with a black guy. And you say to yourself, oh my gosh, what you see in him? You wouldn't want him. But the girl sees him and she likes him and she wants to start with him. She wants to love him in spite of the fact that he doesn't have a lot of material things to give her. And you try to even judge her. But yet that same man, when he gets rich now and he goes off and marries somebody outside of his race, you're angry. When you didn't want him when he was poor. And if I was a guy who, when I didn't have anything and I checked for you, and when I get money, you start coming around, I'm going to take what you have to give me. But I'm not marrying you because I know you're an opportunist. I know you're a user and I know you're fake. Black women, I'm not saying every black woman is like this, but I am saying that too much of us are, and it's a turn off. And because of that, I'm going to stop getting vexed with the black men, because guess what, if a black man is an athlete or if he's a movie star and he thinks that if he marries somebody outside of his race is going to make his situation better, who am I to judge him? Do you, brother? Do whatever is good for you. Marry a white woman if you want, because some of us black women are a disgrace. I never thought I'd live to see the day when I would say this. Some guy do it for their career advancement. Who am I to tell him who he should be? And some of them do it because when they had nothing, you did not want them. First thing you're asking is what kind of car you drive, what kind of job you have, how much do you make? Who wants to hear that? That can't make a man feel good. That doesn't mean you want somebody who's unambitious. But because the guy doesn't have a PhD doesn't mean that he won't make a good husband and a good provider. Because you're an academic person doesn't mean that if he's a skilled person, he has nothing to bring to the relationship. We are messed up. And when we see these things within ourselves, we want to hide it. I'm not going to hide it. That's the problem. I am not perfect. I see the flaws in myself and I try to work on them. But at the same time, when I see how women engage with each other, even if you have a disagreement with somebody, you don't think you can work it out. You don't think you can talk it out until you resolve that situation. You got to come after the person and you try to attack them. I share my story about deep, personal, painful things that I've endured. Those things I dealt with and I'm no longer hurting. And someone got the impression that she could throw that in my face. How sick is that? You know? This is the Jamaican culture also, where people are hungry. How can you curse somebody because they're hungry? That doesn't make any sense. A person is going through this painful ordeal. You should be empathizing with the person, helping if you can. You curse the person that they're hungry. You curse somebody that they're naked. You curse somebody that they have mental illness. You're the one who's sick. You can't use something that is of a deep personal thing to someone as a leverage. That makes you a pathetic fool. That makes you a dunce. That's why I want my subscribers to know that when I use the word dunce, I'm not talking about academic attainment. I'm talking about people who could be intellectual people who have no ability to reason. Dunce, I call those individuals. I could never judge somebody who didn't have the opportunity to go to school or somebody who struggles in their learning. Those individuals in my eyes are not dunce. It is the educated people who open their mouth and when they speak, shoes fall out of their mouth. They're that dunce and dumb that their education has not served them well. When you hear me use the word dunce, it is not the typical sense of the word dunce. There's a lot of dunce black women. And a lot of women who are opportunists and users. And it's a turn off. I see it even in females. They only call if they want something. Or, you know, they're only offering their friendship to you because they think of who you represent or what you can do for them. User. Lots of us are users. And we abuse our relationship with individuals and we abuse our men. We sometimes do that. I'm not talking about what black men do to us now. I'm talking about what we do. We can be very abusive and we just talk about, we are victimizing ourselves all the time and talking about these men being so awful. Some of the men have no choice. Some of the men have no choice but to run away and leave us because we are horrible. We are unkind. We are mean-spirited. I prefer the company of men because a man don't catch feelings when I tell him the truth. Because if he gets mad and he goes after me and we have a battle in words, we always end up where we're good friends. That guy is a subscriber. I respect him. He respects me. And black men really don't like pushover women. It's not like they have a problem with strong women who lash out and fight back and talk for themselves. They don't really have an issue with that. But they have an issue how we can be very hypocritical in the way we deal with each other. I'm the truth sayer. If you don't like what I have to say, click. And I'm going to make my videos very long. That means by the time you get 15 seconds of it, if you're not into me and not into what I'm saying, you're going to go. and then the rest of the message will be lost. I'll keep the better part of the message for the end. Black men, do what is best for you. The only thing I ask you not to do is do not disrespect the black woman in the way she looks, the way God created her. If you're going to say you have issues with a black woman, do not attack the way she looks, or identity, or ethnicity, or her background, or you know, her ethnic background. There's nothing she can do about that. Everything else is fair play. Be with whosoever you want to be with. Marry with who you want to be. That is their problem. Women are coming out now and telling you how, as a brother showed me, what you need to do to marry other men. Let people live their own life and do their own thing if they choose. Be blessed, everybody. Think on these things.